Hello everyone, it's David here from Beyond the Kingdoms, reporting in with another restaurant review from Walt Disney World. Today, I'm going to share with you my thoughts and experience at Topolino's Terrace, located inside Disney's newest hotel, the Riviera Resort. Topolino's is a really interesting place in that it's a character meal by day and a romantic signature restaurant at night, all in a picturesque setting of the French and Italian Riviera. So join me on this special food tour today at Topolino's Terrace. Okay, let's do a quick little overview before we dive into the food. Disney's Riviera Resort is the newest hotel on Disney World property, and it opened back in December. So it took me a little bit of time before I could make it over here and try both breakfast and dinner. Riviera is a DVC-only resort, which means it only offers a select range of rooms that are seen at DVC properties. Topolino's, which means Mickey in Italian, is positioned at the top of the hotel, overlooking Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, the Disney Skyliner, and in the distance you'll see both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. It's a beautiful setting, and on a clear day you'll get fantastic views. Now, like I said, breakfast is a character meal. However, it's not an all-you-can-enjoy buffet like most character meals at Disney. If you've dined at Trattoria al Forno for breakfast at Disney's Boardwalk, this is extremely similar. Everyone will share a basket, or in this case a paint bucket, of pastries to enjoy at the start of your meal, and then you'll choose an entree from there. Like most breakfast table service restaurants, there's no dessert menu. But Topolino's does specialize in breakfast cocktails with a nice range of mimosas. In terms of characters, you'll find the Fab Four here, but with brand new costumes that you won't find anywhere else, and it's perfectly themed to the setting. I started my experience by meeting sculptor Donald Duck, who looks great in his apron and new hat. Rider Minnie Mouse has an adorable literature-inspired dress. And of course we have Mickey, who's in his painter's outfit. Technically, Daisy is supposed to meet here as well, but at my breakfast she never made an appearance. But for the record, she is dressed in a cute ballerina costume. This restaurant also offers something quite rare, a special set of plush toys of all four characters, in these specific outfits. These are priced at $21.99 each, and I know that's a little high. And there's also a souvenir activity book that will keep the little ones entertained, and also doubles as an autograph book. This is priced at $19.99. So in terms of characters, you get the classics, and in brand new outfits that I love. Let's now look at the menu. Our paint bucket of pastries is beautifully presented. It includes a chocolate chip muffin, a traditional croissant, an apple Danish, and the restaurant's staple harvest bread, which is to die for. On the side, the pastries are served with some spreads that include chocolate hazelnut, or Nutella really, a honey butter, which was my favorite of the three, and a strawberry jam. Now, while this breakfast is not a traditional buffet, you can request more of any of these pastries throughout the meal. So it's a sort of halfway buffet. And I love the little touches here, like the paintbrush-shaped butter knife. It's really cute and what I come to expect from a Disney restaurant. Extra touches. Like I said, Topolino specializes in mimosas at breakfast. There are four options here: a classic mimosa, a seasonal one, which in this case featured a pomegranate juice, and two different floral mimosas. Alternatively, there's a classic Bellini if you'd prefer that, and a Bloody Mary. But I went for one of the floral options, the elderflower, citrus, and peach mimosa. I kind of worry that this would be too sweet with the elderflower, but the citrus flavor is what stood out the most and cut through everything. It was light, refreshing, and perfect for a French-inspired breakfast. I don't normally drink first thing in the morning at Disney, but these mimosas seem to be a little bit of a step above the normal ones featured at other restaurants. If you're skipping the alcohol, there are different non-alcoholic mocktails that you can enjoy, but the price of your meal will include juice and coffee. And the juice here, also known as the Riviera Mix, is extremely similar, if not identical, to the juice you'll find during breakfast at Tusker House and Ohana. It's a mixture of orange, passion fruit, and guava. It's very sweet, but the kids will love it. Next, we have our entrees, which was a real struggle for me to choose. Topolino's actually has a very small menu both at breakfast and dinner. I'll discuss why that is later in the dinner section. But I wanted to try something a little different from the norm while enjoying breakfast. I wasn't going to go for the 2 eggs any style or waffles, because I can get that elsewhere. I almost went with the spiced sausage hash, which included 2 poached hen eggs. But in the end, I settled for the Quiche Gruyère. I had a big day of eating at Epcot ahead of me, so I didn't want to get too stuffed. And this was just the right size. It had a nice, solid pastry on the outside of the quiche, which was firmly set in the middle and mouth-watering with all that Gruyère cheese. On the side was a sampling of roasted potatoes, which I love, and a field greens salad. This was a little bit on the boring side, and I didn't taste much of the lemon vinaigrette drizzled on top. The quiche was good, something I've never seen at breakfast at Disney, but it didn't knock my socks off. So overall, this experience was good, but not great. I find that these breakfast character meals that are not buffets to hit me more with the price. Breakfast here is priced at $42 for the adults and $27 for kids. You're definitely paying that extra price to see the characters with your meal in a beautiful setting with a somewhat unique menu. I do find it really interesting how psychologically one would overlook or accept the price of a character meal when it's a full buffet. The appearance of unlimited food really changes your perspective. But I think dinner is a whole other story. Once the sun sets, Topolino's Terrace feels like a whole different restaurant. There are oversized and cozy booths that suddenly seem so romantic for couples. I had the chance to dine here with my husband for my birthday, and boy, was it a treat. I didn't really mention it earlier, but the design aesthetics inside here are stunning. A wonderful mix of modern elements that still somehow feels like a traditional French bistro, but more upscale than a bistro, a true signature restaurant. While it wasn't open for breakfast, there's a pretty expensive bar area tucked to the side. And if you time it right, you may catch fireworks from Epcot while enjoying a drink here before your meal. You won't get a view as spectacular as California Grill, but it's an added touch. For dinner, we were treated to 2 fantastic servers. One was in training, but both were extremely attentive, passionate about food, and showcased that Disney service that is often missing these days around Disney World. For our meal, my husband and I coincidentally went straight down the middle in terms of cuisine, half French and half Italian, and some recommendations from the waiter. For our first course, we enjoyed the Escargot, a classic French starter, and the duck confit gnocchi. I absolutely love escargot, and this was as heavenly as I remembered the first time trying snails in France. They're served in the traditional form in their shells and smothered in garlic and butter. If you've never tried escargot, you must give it a try, and Disney has done it absolutely perfect here. Now on the flip side, I have a dear Italian friend who once told me that you can judge the entire authenticity of an Italian restaurant by their gnocchi. So I put Disney to the test. This duck confit version is extremely rich, and the flavor is decadent, like butter melting in your mouth. However, I found the consistency of the gnocchi here to be a little too soft. In some cases, you may enjoy that melt in your mouth sensation, but I prefer gnocchi with a bit of firm texture to it. So the flavor was excellent, but the execution not really my favorite. Now onto the main entrees. This is the braised chicken rigatoni, which I thought was a safe and boring choice, but it was highly recommended by my waiter. When I said to him I was struggling to choose between a pasta, he said the rigatoni, without question, is the winner. This is a beautiful bowl of comforting, robust pasta that you would expect your Italian grandmother to serve you at home. If pasta could give you a warm hug, this would be it. The sauce is almost soup or broth-like, and it's really hearty, and the tender braised chicken was delicious. It truly lived up to its reputation, and I'm still dreaming about it. But then this is the show-stopping Tomahawk veal chop, served with a decadent cheese and onion potato gratin and lemon jus. As expected, my husband ordered this medium rare under the recommendation of the waiter, and when that dramatic bone was revealed and served, it was very impressive. This is a really hefty dish, and while very good, a little too rare. Perhaps it's because it's veal, but we both agree that we would have gone a little bit more medium with the cook. And that's coming from a person who would order a steak rare if you let him. But that potato gratin on the side, oh God, I nearly fell out of my chair when I tried that thing. So overall, this one was very good, but just under that perfection mark. Now, while we were extremely stuffed with such a rich and powerful meal, we had to at least try one dessert. In hindsight, we should have tried the cheese board to keep things really authentic, but we went for the chocolate Profiteroles, each of which come with a scoop of gelato. One chocolate, one caramel, and one pistachio. We were told that the warm chocolate cake was the most popular choice, but that this was the underdog. If you're unfamiliar, Profiteroles are made with a choux pastry, similar to what you see in an eclair. But I think because these were chocolate, they were much firmer, which worked really well because it acts like the bread in a gelato sandwich. Each flavor was absolutely divine, the caramel and pistachio being the best. It's just the right size if you're sharing and pretty full from all the other dishes. In the end, dinner at Topolino's will forever be seared in my memory as one of the best meals I've ever had at Disney. The service at both breakfast and dinner was excellent. What I would expect from a signature restaurant. It's been a long time since I've experienced that at Disney World. Like I said, breakfast for me was good, but not great. There are dozens of places to enjoy a character meal with this set of classics. I'm just not a fan of these non-buffet character meals. On the flip side, dinner was unforgettable. This was one of those rare times where the Disney price tag felt completely justified. I'd pay for that meal again, even though it was really expensive. But seeing that I was celebrating my birthday, it kind of felt appropriate. But I do have some notes. First of all, I wish Disney would have stuck to an either all-French theme or all-Italian theme. This is really a larger opinion on the resort as a whole. The setting looks more French, but the name of the restaurant is Italian. But then again, you're going to be greeted in French. Anyone from these two countries will find it amusing that Disney decided to mix the two as if they were one. But in a way, I love that the dinner menu is down the middle, because in our case, my husband loves French food and I kind of tend to lean towards more Italian food. So foodies may enjoy this chance to sample both in one. I think some may not like the fact that the menu is smaller, but I can definitely tell that the chefs are putting extra care and focus on quality. A sign of a solid restaurant. So there you have it, folks, my full review of Topolino's Terrace at Disney's Riviera Resort. If you're looking for a romantic place to snuggle up with that special someone after a long day in the parks, this signature restaurant is outstanding. If you're new to this channel, make sure you check out some of my other Foodie Friday videos, reviewing some restaurants around the resort and top snacks and dishes at both the parks and special events. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.